This past weekend will go down in history as the most wild, the most game-breaking, and arguably the most fun Destiny 2 has ever been, albeit PvP and endgame PvE content being totally broken. A crafting bug, otherwise known as funny guns, was discovered, and then word spread like wildfire throughout the community. Well, today I'd like to recap the story of funny guns and tell the story of what will go down as the best glitch in the history of Destiny 2. We've had some great glitches in Destiny 2 in the past, so Laser Tag Weekend was one of these. Back in December 2017, Prometheus Lens, that is an exotic trace rifle, that had a bug making it very, very overpowered. Now, at the same time, Zur was selling the weapon, and that meant everyone had access to it, and then everyone took it into Trials of Osiris and proceeded to delete each other. Bungie then marked the occasion with an emblem in the game. Well, another memorable glitch was the ability to take 12 Guardians into a single raid. So back in February 2021, it was possible to load in 7 to 12 Guardians into a raid, or between 4 and 9 Guardians into a Nightfall Strike or a dungeon. That led to chaotic raid encounters with up to 12 players stomping through boss encounters. Players enjoyed this one so much they were calling for Bungie to add it as a feature, which we may end up seeing after the raid in the final shape. Well, that brings us to last weekend and the weapon crafting glitch. This allowed Guardians to craft legendary weapons with exotic perks, plus also add specific frames to weapons they shouldn't be on. So by starting the process of crafting on one weapon, you could quickly swap to another weapon and seemingly merge perks and traits of weapons together, creating monster weapons that could delete enemies in seconds. Word started to spread of this issue on the 15th of September 2023 with Cheese Forever, a well-known Destiny glitch hunter, making a series of videos. It started with exotic weapons, specifically Dead Messenger, people taking the exotic perk Trinary Vision and placing it on legendary weapons. Things then ramped up a notch when players figured out how to apply an aggressive shotgun frame to auto rifles, which would essentially dish out shotgun level of damage bullets on an auto rifle rate of fire weapon. Well, the Imperial Decree and the Amit AR2 turned into a very popular combination, allowing a team of 3 Guardians to breeze through Grandmaster Nightfalls, which wasn't a bad thing last week, given it was double Nightfall rewards with the returning Warden's Law hand cannon. Once word got out about this glitch, the Destiny 2 community got to work to find the most deadly, the most damage-inducing combinations, and Grandmaster Nightfalls were a breeze. The recently added Crota's End raid was being beaten in record time, with Guardians absolutely melting Crota at the end of the raid in double quick time. So many Guardians took this opportunity to farm Essence of Oversoul, a valuable currency needed to acquire the Necrochasm, the returning exotic auto rifle added as part of the returning Crota's End raid. Well, Trials of Osiris went live around a similar time that news started to spread like wildfire. Many expected Bungie to cancel Trials. Yeah, many people have been looking forward to this Trials of Osiris because it had recently had 2 weeks off, plus the Igneous Hammer was returning. However, Guardians soon realised, well, this glitch was just much more fun, and everyone was waiting with bated breath to see what Bungie would do. Would they cancel Trials? Guardians were being one-shot from across the map, and PvP was being turned into a killing field of dead Guardians. Now, would Bungie do the unthinkable and roll back the game? Nope, they did something else. They did something very unexpected indeed. On the 15th of September at 10 PM GMT, Bungie acknowledged the issue on Twitter by saying, "We are aware of the issue that allows specific perks to be crafted onto other legendary weapons and are investigating a fix. That is going to result in these weapons being reset in the future. We currently don't have any plans to disable Trials of Osiris due to this issue." Well, that was slightly surprising because Trials have been cancelled for much less in the past. But what Bungie said next was even more surprising. So, Destiny 2 teams said, "We're exploring all potential solutions and keeping an eye out in case things get too wild, and we need to take drastic measures to ensure the health of the game. In the meantime, let's all have some fun, and Igneous Hammer will come back to Trials ASAP." Well, there's a couple of really interesting statements here. So first of all is too wild, and the second one is let's all have some fun. I don't know exactly how wild things need to get because PvP had turned into a wasteland of dead guardians, Trials was effectively ruined for the majority of the weekend, and endgame PvE bosses were being destroyed by overpowered guardians with funny guns. And with Bungie saying, let's have some fun, they're effectively saying, go out there, use these weapons and go crazy. You know, it's like parents leaving teenagers the house for the weekend and saying, well, just go on, have a massive party. And boy, did us Guardians party all weekend. Yeah, roughly 24 hours later, on Saturday, the 16th of September, 2023, Bungie Help was back and they said, we are working on 2 fixes for this issue. There's no plans for a rollback. For the first fix, deploying within the next 24 hours, we're building a server-side update that will disable all crafted weapons for being equipped. Players will still be able to craft weapons during this time. The second fix we're building, which we hope to release soon after the first, will allow crafted weapons to be re-equipped, but the outlier crafted weapons with illegal components will be reset to a default state. Well, so Bungie then confirmed there'd be no rollback, and that meant players could keep the loot that they earned. For example, many Guardians have been farming Grandmaster Nightfalls for their Godroll Warden's Lore, others have been farming dungeons for Artifice Armor, and plus more Guardians have been farming raid bosses for exotic loot. The fact the game wasn't going to be rolled back simply meant we get to keep everything. Well, Bungie Help was then back on Sunday, the 17th of September 2023. Clearly, by this time, they are all working through the weekend. So Bungie Help say, update, this is a complex issue, and as a result of the testing, our original timeline for a server-side fix has been extended. More information will be provided when we have updates. Then on Monday the 18th, it looked like Bungie finally had a breakthrough. So they said, in the first of multiple updates, which is going to go live shortly, a selection of exotic and legendary frames and perks on crafted weapons will temporarily be disabled. Crafted weapons can still be equipped. This includes Osteostriga, Revision 0, Dead Man's Tale, Dead Messenger, Vexcalibur, and all 3 exotic class glaives. This will not affect any versions of these that exist and that were not crafted. We're currently building a second fix focused on replacing illegitimate perks on crafted weapons. Please stay tuned to Bungie Help for future updates on this issue. And then Destiny 2 teams followed up and they said, we're not out of the woods yet, things are looking a little bit spicy. I think they're referring to all of the error codes that then flooded the game. But the latest update is an important step in the right direction. We'll have more updates as we continue to work on fixes, and thank you for the patience while the team continues towards a permanent solution. Well, sadly, this signalled the end of the funny guns crafting glitch, and things would slowly start to go back to normal. Although, as they said, we are not out of the woods yet. There are still some issues that Cheese Forever are highlighting in the game. Well, the funny thing was the audience were split. Most were having fun, although some said Destiny 2 was absolutely ruined by the glitched crafted weapons. Personally, I just thought it was impressive that the weapon system held up, as well as it did, and the game didn't simply explode with that many glitched weapons. Destiny 2 saw an increase in player numbers over the weekend according to Steam charts, from an average of about 60k active players on Friday the 15th to about 105 active players over the weekend, which is about a 75% increase in player count. The previous weekend, by comparison, saw a peak of about 75k players, so the news of this glitch spread, and it seemed to bring players back who hadn't played in some time. So it had some interesting impacts in the present, but what does this mean in the future? Well, Bungie, they're still tidying up the remnants of this bug. Master Mode for Crota has been postponed, amongst other things, but it does finally appear as if Bungie are getting to grips with things. Raid and dungeon bosses can rest a little bit easier, knowing Guardians won't have shotgun shells firing out of auto rifles at 450 rounds per minute, and I would imagine the Witness was absolutely quaking in his little boots. You know, we should all really thank Bungie for working through the weekend on this effort to fix the crafting bug. You know, they do get a lot of stick for pretty much anything these days, but a crack team was sent in over the weekend to investigate and fix the issue, and while there are remnants of this issue remaining in the game, I think they were largely successful. But hats off to Bungie for saying have some fun in that tweet. I think a lot of Guardians did have a lot of fun this weekend, and hopefully Bungie is going to follow up with an emblem to remember the weekend of the weapon crafting glitch. I think the only thing left to do is to name this weekend, so we had Laser Tag Weekend for the Prometheus lens bug. I've heard the name Laser Tag 2.0 touted, but to be honest, that doesn't really feel quite right to me. Funny Guns is what everyone was referring to on LFG, but I would really love to hear what you think and what you would like to name this event. This is probably one of the most memorable Destiny 2 weekends for some time. I don't know about you, I had a lot of fun, and it really was like a big party in Destiny 2 all weekend long. Well, let me know what you think in the comments about this glitch, plus share your stories about what you crafted and how you spent the Funny Guns weekend. Well, that is it today for the story of the best glitch in Destiny 2 history, and as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Well, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.